Hello again. Here you see a pretty nice original 72 Ford Bronco. Client brought it to us to build a one-off Icon Reformer out of it, meaning not the typical sort of industrial mod Icon design, but something decidedly more retro and under the radar. So here it is done. This project took, oh gosh, maybe 20 months to complete. It was really a fun one. The client was just wonderful, and him and his father-in-law were pretty involved throughout the build. And the goal here was to integrate as much of the sort of enhancements and drivability gains of an Icon, but into a design that is decidedly, more mellow, more retro. Now that being said, the colors, the interior, the chassis work, the suspension, the powertrain, the climate control, the HVAC, the steering, none of it's original, but it was kind of a fun design challenge for us to, basically if you're not a Bronco geek, you wouldn't know the difference. It would look original to you. So let's take it for a drive. We're going to go through lovely Chatsworth and take it down to the park. This truck's equipped with the 5.0 Coyote fuel-injected V8 as found in a 2014 Mustang GT. For the transmission, we're running an Ace & Warner AX15 to an Atlas 2 twin-stick shift-on-the-fly part-time four-wheel drive transfer case. The seats in this truck are correct for the 60s, but actually for a Mustang. The rear seat is the Icon seat, yet with the late 60s Mustang headrests modified and fit to that late model tuck and tumble seat. We did 3-point seat belts front and rear. All the glass is the factory, non-tinted, non-reflective glass. On the bottom side here, you'll see the Fox Racing shocks and Eibach coils. It's a triangulated 4-link rear with Johnny joints and radius arm front. Here you see the StopTech 6-piston front brakes and Dynatrac front axle. So now we made it up to the top of the hill here. This color is actually FJ Cruiser color, but works on a Bronco, I think, quite nicely. The only modern touch on the exterior are the JW Speaker LED headlights at the client's request. Otherwise, all badging, trim, handles, mirror, Ranger spears, and all that good stuff are dead stock. These wheels were CNC'd out of 6061 billet aluminum in a 17-inch size to appear like the stock stamped two-piece steel wheels, and then we ran new old stock Ford Fairlane hubcaps just for fun. The doors are set up with the Amp Research lit power steps, which really make entry a hell of a lot nicer into these Broncos. We now offer those as a kit for people with stock Broncos, and they're really a nice setup, beautifully designed. If you saw the exterior, you wouldn't know what's lurking underneath. It is so much fun to drive. The underside of this body is heat cured in polyurea, as is the inside floor, and then the doors, quarters, and roof are all lined in Dynamat. Dynamat's really a great product. We use it a lot. Insulates the vehicle, reduces the noise levels, and more isolation from the environment. The polyurea on the bottom side is our idea of a more contemporary approach to traditional petroleum-based undercoatings, because it works a hell of a lot better and it doesn't leach into the groundwater, which really sucks with old school version petroleum undercoats. We're running the 285 7017 BF Goodrich all-terrain tires. In the rear, the only modern touch there is our LED third braking light and tail lights. The third brake lights, just kind of a nice little detail to have. There's a couple other modern surprises here in the back, but again, not evident from the exterior. Hardtop is removable. We did full cargo lined panels and such, so taking the hardtop on one of these off, especially the stock trim, is kind of a pain in the ass, but it's sure worth it. They're really nice to have off. Again, these wheels, I'm really happy with these. We work with Circle Racing a lot and really have fun changing up the effect. We powder coated these in a white to match the white roof cap. We kind of did a mashup between the Ranger and Sport package, and not, again, with no due respect to history, but just sort of picking what ourselves and our client really liked. Something really nice about this truck, though. It makes everyone smile. It gets warm and fuzzies from everyone. For the steering column, we did an I Did It column, modified to accept the new old stock factory Bronco wheel and horn ring. The dash, we really tried to keep looking stock, but integrate AC and a couple other modern tidbits here and there. I'll show you those in more detail when we get to the inside tour. Here in the rear, if you look really close, under this stock rear bumper is a reverse camera, which is good fun, really helpful in these. And then here's the Dynatrac Dana 60 Pro Rock high pinion rear axle with the StopTech proprietary Icon brakes. All stainless plumbing, powder coat finishes, cable actuated parking brakes to a dedicated caliper in the rear. Stock tire carrier, we added a locking function to the drop-down tailgate. In the cargo area, pretty much stock. These side panels are custom and hide the speakers behind perforated sections. There's also power port and marine rated cast stainless steel half-round LED lights. Here's the max tie-down cargo anchors flush on the floor. And here's that light. And this textile is a new old stock. It's actually supposed to be in a 1960s GM product, but we just thought it was perfect. It had the right color combo and the cool kind of funky 60s herringbone trim. Here's the front speakers behind perforation panels, and those are Focal audio. On the floor, we did the Hargarten square weave, which is actually a Porsche carpet, and then it's removable, and you can run the polyurea floor if you're going to get down and dirty. Headliner is done in the stock design, stock wiper covers and visors, but all in a light cream Alcantara. Again, door panels looking stop, but the handle buckets here are CNC'd and then painted, not the plastic crap, and the door handles are hand wrapped and hand stitched. These seats work really well, man. If you didn't know that they weren't factory in the truck, they just flow and way more comfortable. They add some nice bright work trim, sort of appropriate for that 60s, 70s vibe, and really comfortable. I just wish the backrests had adjustable recline positions, but oh well. We did stock pedals. We did what looks like stock gauges, but it's VSS driven. And then the lock pins we did stock this time and resisted the urge to do the Icon stainless ones. Dash layout, it's the original dash panel, and it does appear stock at the first glance. If you start looking closer, you'll notice a couple modifications. For one, the air conditioning system, we ran a Gen 4 vintage air unit, which is really my favorite, and then we crafted these panels underneath the dash so it just kind of disappears. There's an I Did It billet clamp there for the firewall junction. There's the data port for the OBD2 servicing harness. Stock AM radio, gutted but lights up. And then we're running a Parrot audio system. You'll notice the Tuffy Center console is painted body color. And if you flip down the ashtray, ta-da, then you have the Parrot navigation, Bluetooth, and music management system. Nice setup, totally stealth, no ugly modern head unit to deal with. Really like that. The stock heater controls have all been repurposed to run the modern HeatFin AC. Front plane of the console has 3-stage switches for the carbon fiber heat blankets, seat heaters. ARB switches, front and rear, and compressor in front of the console, to the right of which you'll find the Atlas twin-stick T-case. All billet knobs there. On the back plane of the console, we did another Marenco 12-volt power port. And the dash pad's dead stock, and again, it just is very stock looking, but totally incorrect. Purist be damned, or purist damn me. So let's see what else. Let's move into the engine bay, starting with the hood shocks. So that's not stock. We also did those on the liftgate. There's the Coyote 5.0 packaged really nicely all OEM down to the airbox. We do our own rotomolded intake plenum. There's the Ford Racing fuse panel and diagnostic center. And then up top, under the vents for the hood, we hid the GPS for the asteroid. It works out really nicely. Moving along in the engine bay, you have the angled dual diaphragm booster with twin reservoir master cylinder for our brake system, including integrated metering and check valve, proportioning valve as well. The inner fender here on the passenger side looks stock but isn't. It's increased in height. We create a doghouse for the modern ECU. So that's pretty much my whole story. Thanks again for watching. Any further questions? icon4x4.com or 818-280-3333.